Hey. Wanted to jump on quick before I go to bed, and my bun is not cooperating. I don't really care what I look like right now because I'm really tired, and I feel like I just had to this out, you know? It was the first thing I woke up to this morning. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Of course, he got killed in jail. Why wouldn't he? You know? We're talking about Epstein here. That's the title in case you haven't noticed. But I was like just meditating, and then some thoughts were coming in, and some of the things that I was reading throughout the day. So I just wanted to thank you, Amy. I don't think so, but that's okay. I'm going to the beach tomorrow, so my hair doesn't have to be, you know, it's just going to be a fucking mess. That's what's happening. Hey, Mike from Coventry. Hey, Leslie. Hey, Tisha. Hey, Mike from Coventry again. Whoever else is on. I'm gonna be like the crazy conspiracy person with the crazy hair. No, I'm just kidding. So anyways, I've been reading, so first of all, I want to say that I'm hearing people talk about it. You know what I mean? So now that he's not alive anymore, we don't really know what happened. Do I feel like he's alive? I'm leaning 70-80% towards no. I almost said yes. So, um, but I did have some thoughts pop in. So, I posted something in the Ascension NXT community that I don't know who it was, some politician. Basically, it was like, oh, he's not dead, and this is just like all a ploy to get media attention. And I was like, I don't know if I believe that, but it's true because, hey, April, I've definitely been seeing a lot of people talking about it because he's dead. You know what I mean? I don't feel like it was getting way less media attention when he was alive. Now that he's dead, people are talking about it, and a lot of people are like putting up like Clinton memes and making fun of the Clintons and all that stuff because people think that he was off by them. But I had this crazy theory pop in my head, and these are just my theories and my thoughts. I'm not saying that this is true. But what about if somebody in power on the quote unquote good side, we'll say the good side, um, either allowed him to kill himself or they killed him so it would get a lot of media attention, and that way um, that it would start being talked about. Another thing too, so that's like one theory that I have is whatever's going on right now, people are talking about it, and I think that people need to be talking about it. So the guy's dead. I wasn't happy when I woke up this morning just because I wanted to see justice and I wanted to see him go through the ringer. But like if you watch Reality Unchained with me and Steve, we're talking about a lot how like he was going to take the brunt of everything, and then everyone else involved there was going to be nothing that happens to them. So now as I'm like moving throughout the day, I'm like there's like a little hope inside of me, because there's always some hope inside of me that maybe they got rid of him so they could actually persecute the people that are involved, like other people that are involved. So maybe this is going to make like more people held accountable now that he's not there. Now that he's not there to take the brunt and, all of the, I can't think right now because I'm really tired, but this is what's coming in my head. I guess to take the blame. So what about if this is like, because this is how inside jobs work in the government. Like we don't know what's going on. We never know what's going on. Anyone who thinks that they know what's going on, they don't know what's going on. Like everyone's always like one step ahead of everything. So I'm always kind of like, well, first of all, I don't think that he killed himself. And if he did, I think that somebody let him kill himself. Or somebody killed him. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm going with here. then there's like a sense of like there was a sense of like hopelessness from the community. Like that was my first thing, was like, no, now it's just going to be lost and forgotten, and people are just going to stop talking about it. But that's not what's happening, because people are talking about it. And then I heard when I was meditating is people need to decide, people need to be behind the idea that you want the truth. The truth isn't easy to swallow, right? We need to decide at this moment energetically. Now, I'm talking in terms of energy here, that we want these people held accountable. That's what I keep hearing from the other side, is that we need to decide energetically as a community that we want accountability, that we want justice, that we want people held accountable. I think that's something that's our job, since that we have no control over what's going on. So if we keep deciding that we want names and we want people held accountable, I think that this will bring the energy in to allow people to be held accountable for this. Do I think it's going to take down everybody? No, absolutely not. I was watching this one kid that I usually watch. His name is Anomaly, and he does a lot of he like analyzes the news, and I think a lot of things that he says make sense. So I don't watch him all the time. I only watch like when he's talking about things that I'm interested in. But he's definitely awakened, and I could see his frustration in the fact that he was like, if nobody's held accountable for this, like, I'm done, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, that's how I've been feeling for like the past 15 years. This is like way bigger than most people think. Like, we can't expect this whole thing to go down. It's just not going to happen right away. Like, there's no way. There's so many people involved in this that there's no way that this is just going to stop overnight. It just can't. Like, child trafficking and sex trafficking is bigger than drugs. I think there's more people trafficking people than there are people trafficking drugs. You can check on that. You know, I don't know if those are like facts, but that's kind of like what I grasp from how big this is. I think my cat's trying to come in, but she can't come in right now. Either way, it's up there with drug dealing. And I don't think it's a time for us to get frustrated. I think that it's a time for people that are awakened to actually be happy that people know about it. People are seeing it. Like, people are actually talking about it. Because before, like, even a few weeks ago, I was super frustrated that nobody was even saying anything about it. And now people are like all over it because he died. So there's something good about this guy passing away. Not to like be an asshole or anything, but you know, wasn't a very good person. But I definitely think his passing is waking a lot of people up, because there was a few people that said to me, oh, I didn't know what was going on. And I'm like, do I know you? You know what I mean? Yeah, my bun is just like gonna be falling apart by the end of this video. So that was one of the things that kept popping in, is like him passing away, another big awakening. So a lot of times it takes people passing away for people to wake up. Like, I know with the Nipsey Hussle thing, a lot of people were like waking up around then. And people even, I don't know exactly what happened with that either, but that seems super shady to me. I'm not even going to get into that because I don't really know the facts behind it. I'm not trying to like throw out a bunch of different facts, but yeah, we need to decide that we want the truth. And the truth isn't always going to be hard to swallow. The truth isn't going to be easy. Even Steve was in the Ascension X community, and he had on the whole backstory of this pedophile stuff, and nobody was watching the watch party. And I was like, yeah, I know, like, that's, people don't want to hear the details about this stuff, and I get it. Some people just can't stomach that. They can't deal with it. It's way too much. But I think we need to be energetically behind the fact that we want the veil lifted on this. We want to know what's going on. We want a lot of these people held accountable. This is a hardcore thing going on. Like, this is something that, like, when the whole Pizzagate thing came out, I was like, oh my God, like, I never thought that I would see that in my lifetime, because I knew about that shit before it was Pizzagate. Like, that was, like, but then when you start going down that rabbit hole, you're like, oh my God, like, that's just, like, way too much. And then the Jeffrey Epstein thing is, like, it's all connected. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like that is the energy that we need to stand for right now, even though we have no control over it. And I have like this weird feeling that, I don't know, I feel like something good is going to happen from this. I feel intuitively that something good is happening from him dying. As fucked up as that is to say, something shifting energetically is what I'm feeling, and I'm feeling like it's going more towards the, I mean, it could just be people waking up. I don't know. I can't really connect with it, and I don't want to connect and channel into it before I go to bed, because I want to go to bed without this energy connected to me. We can jump to a timeline if we shift our frequency to hold them accountable. We can jump to a timeline if we shift our Ashley, can you explain that right now? We can get there. I think I know what you're saying, but I can't really. I'm really tired. Me and Jess went crystal shopping yesterday, and that was like an 8-hour day. Oh no, it was a 12-hour day. We were shopping for like 7 hours around a bunch of crystals. And I woke up this morning and I was like, I'm dead. I didn't meditate. I didn't do any of my shit. I didn't journal. I didn't fucking do anything today. So, and then I woke up to this and I'm like, oh God, you know? So, yeah. Multiple realities simultaneously existing. We can go either way. Yeah, so that's probably why I received the message that we need to decide now that we want the veil lifted, that we want people held accountable, and we just need to push forward with the energy. That's it. You don't have to like post about it. You don't have to like talk about it if you don't want to. Energetically be behind it. You know what I mean? And you'll know who to talk about it with and who you can talk to these things. Because some people just don't want to hear this shit. And there's also a lot of frustration behind it. Because when people start hearing about this, then they want people held accountable right away. And that shit does not happen. Like I said, I never thought it would get this far. And it's this far. You know what I mean? Like, this stuff has hit the mainstream news. Like, people are talking about this. Like, this is beginning to be, like, a known thing. Which I think is awesome. Because back in the day, people are like, what? That shit's not happening. You're crazy. Like, people get offended and mad at you if you brought any of that up. Now it's, like, way more people are starting to recognize that this is real. So this is big. This is a big thing. So I would say don't get frustrated that he passed away. Some people are like, yeah, fuck him. But my first reaction was like, no, we need him alive so we can get more information and hold somebody accountable. But we're already holding him accountable. We need to get other people held. Like, we need other people to be held accountable too, because there's so many people involved in this. So yeah, energetically get behind it. Call in your guides, call in your angels, call in whatever the fuck you believe in that you work with in the divine manner. Get behind it. Call them in. Say, yeah, we need this. I'm down to help with this. I'm down to pull in the energy. Another thing that people don't realize too is like when you start really waking up and you start raising your frequencies and you really begin to accept the truths, because truth is hard to swallow. Hang on, my cat wants to come in and I have to let her in. Sammy. Come on. Okay. Be a good girl. Good girl, Sammy. So, what I was talking about. So, when you start waking up and you start holding higher frequencies, you automatically become this energy of truth where you can begin to, how do I word this? It's really weird, but I noticed that I'm able to do this. So you're able to be in a room with people that aren't truthful and reveal the truth just by you being there because you hold that light, if that makes sense. Because when you're so in your truth and you carry that energy, it's not easy for lower vibrational energies to maintain their lies. They just can't around something that's so high vibrational. And if you decide to carry that, if you're like, yes, this is why I'm here, I am here to hold the higher frequencies and raise the frequencies on the planet, yeah, you activate other people, and you repel things that aren't in your vibrational frequency. Fuck, I forgot what I was saying. But that is solely what happens when you begin with your ascension work, is that people become exposed around you when you're really authentic and in your truth. That's why people that are really authentic are hated a lot, because people can't put on a facade around them. It's not something that's easy. That's why a lot of people don't like me, because I see right through their bullshit. And like, I don't pretend that I like things that I don't like. Like, I don't pretend that to like people that I don't like. You know what I mean? Before I used to be really rude and disrespectful towards things that I didn't like. Now I just learned to keep my mouth shut and just be. You know what I mean? And eventually, it's like I can walk in a room, and me and my friends have discussed this, and like walk in, and people that aren't being real, it'll begin to be seen. That's it, just something that happens, I've noticed. So keep being real, keep talking about the truth, keep spreading the truth. You know who you can talk about this stuff with. And I had to send out the message today to be energetically behind the truth coming out with this, or the veil being lifted, because there's so much happening that that's the thing, is like, we don't know what the truth is. You know what I mean? The truth is such a black and white kind of thing. I think the best answer for that, with the veil being lifted, and then people being held accountable for these actions, because once that begins, then that's like the domino effect of like more and more and more and more will be held accountable. Then once people are beginning to be held accountable, we can learn more about this, and we can learn more about trafficking and how it works and the energy behind it. And I know that there's people that teach about this stuff, but how to spot people that are being trafficked and things like that. Like, we are completely unaware as a society, like, how that works. And a lot of that is because people don't want to talk about it. Like, this is something that people don't want anything to do with, you know? So I don't know. That's my message for tonight. I gotta go to bed though, because I gotta be up early. But I'll see you all tomorrow. I can't wait to share my wonderful crystal collection that I received the other day, with like 8 hours of shopping. And I'll tell you right now, with crystal shopping, it literally goes by, and like, it feels like you're doing it for like an hour. You're in there for 8 hours, and then you're like, oh my God, it's 6 o'clock already. You're stuck in like a time warp. It's fun though. All right. I'll probably be on tomorrow. Me and Jess are supposed to go to the shop after the beach and start cleaning all the crystals. So that'll be fun. So see you all tomorrow. Just keep this thoughts, energy in your prayers. Pull down your guides, your higher self, like I said, whatever you divinely work with, and put your energy behind it. That's the best that we can do right now, right? It's not a hopeless situation. I think that things are beginning to become unveiled, and honestly, through an awakening process like this, with something that carries this much of like a shitty energy, you don't want everything to come out all at once. It would be way too much for people. But thanks for putting up with my shitty bun, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.